Hello, this is the Wizard Project, and this is the second episode of my Hogwarts tour series. In this episode, we'll be showing off the Transfiguration Courtyard and the Astronomy Tower seen behind me. So important places in this area are the Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom, the Transfiguration classroom, and the Charms classroom. The castle is inspired by many things, such as the scale model built in Warner Bros. Studio lot, the movies, the books, Hogwarts Legacy, Dragonod, Hogwarts Wiki, and of course, whatever I want to build. With all that being said, let's get into part 2. We're going to start in the same area as we did last time to help you better understand the castle. So we're going to go back in through the viaduct entrance hall. Last time we went right, but this time we're going to be going left. This is the first area of the tour right outside the Transfiguration Courtyard. This area is seen in the Half-Blood Prince when McGonagall is directing students to their classes and we see Harry and Ron standing on a bench. The bench is seen here. As we move along, we get into the Muggle Studies classroom. For students with magical backgrounds, this class offers students a unique perspective on the non-magical world. The class is filled with everyday Muggle objects and devices, providing a hands-on learning experience about the lives and technologies of Muggles. So this classroom is inspired after the Hogwarts Mystery Muggle Studies classroom. Hogwarts Legacy also has a Muggle Studies classroom, but I feel this classroom gives more of the vibe of Muggles, as seen here is the Hogwarts Legacy one, more dark and depressing. We're going to head out of the classroom, up the corridor, and into the History of Magic area. On the right is the Transfiguration Courtyard, but we're not going to be going in there yet. This is the History of Magic classroom. History of Magic. This class is taught in a somber classroom by the ghostly Professor Binns. His droning lectures often lull students to sleep, though the subject matter, covering the rich and complex history of the wizarding world, like the Great Goblin Rebellion of 1752, is endlessly fascinating to those who can stay awake. This classroom is inspired by the Hogwarts Legacy History of Magic classroom. This classroom was never actually shown in the movies, only ever appearing in the books. On the far right of the classroom is the iconic History of Magic windows. This set of stained glass windows features Merlin, the 4 Hogwarts founders, and various other witches and wizards of the ages. Try my best with these stained glass windows. Now through the back of the classroom is this area also inspired by Hogwarts Legacy. We're going to be turning left, through this tiny little corridor, and to the right. Now on to the next area. Now we're at the bottom floor of this area of Hogwarts. We're slowly going to go up the steps. Again, this area is inspired by Hogwarts Legacy. Up the steps some more, and into a more open area where students can be found relaxing and studying. We'll be going down that area of Hogwarts a bit later. Next, we're going to go back down the spiral staircase. To the left is the Astronomy Tower, but we'll be heading there later. Here is the Waving Knight. This set of armor belonged to Sir Afflepuddle of the Cheerful Countenance, a legendarily friendly knight who supposedly won every battle before it began by virtue of his amiable negotiating tactics. Some attribute his success to an overly potent cheering charm he cast upon himself. Just a quick look at this area, it's not totally done. On the right we have the Transfiguration Courtyard, but first we're going to be turning left, just so I can show you how it all connects. Back through the door, and into the Transfiguration Courtyard. In the first 2 films, the scenes in this courtyard were filmed in the Durham Cathedral. However, in the 4th film, the location used was Oxford College's courtyard. The final courtyard was built in Leavesden Studios, where they filmed all the Harry Potter movies, adding in the Astronomy Tower. My Transfiguration Courtyard tries to take aspects from each iteration and mesh it all into its own. You can also see this Transfiguration Courtyard in Hogwarts Legacy's version. In the middle of the courtyard is a fountain, as seen here in Hogwarts Legacy, having the dragon on top. My fountain is a little bit smaller, just to save some room. To the right, we have the very famous tree from Goblet of Fire, where Draco Malfoy is sitting in, as seen in this clip. The Transfiguration Tree. The tree in the courtyard, planted many years ago, is a notable landmark where Draco Malfoy was once transfigured into a ferret by Professor Moody. This vulnerable tree has witnessed countless magical moments and student pranks. The last thing to see is the Astronomy Tower, but we'll be going in that in a few minutes. Turning around and leaving the courtyard and we turn right, we'll get to a very famous classroom, the Transfiguration Classroom. Transfiguration Classroom. Held in a bright and orderly room, filled with desks arranged in neat rows. The room is lined with shelves holding various objects and textbooks essential for mastering the art of transforming one thing into another. I'm guessing many of you already know what the Transfiguration Classroom looks like, but here's the clip from the film. Fun fact, the Transfiguration Classroom was also filmed in the Durham Cathedral. This area was known as the Chapter House and was the location of Professor McGonagall's Transfiguration Classroom scenes. Heading back out of this classroom, on the left we've already visited, so we're going to be heading right. This hallway of Hogwarts is inspired by the Flu Network's version of Minecraft Hogwarts. Feel free to check them out. Heading all the way right, we get to the Greenhouse Corridor. This corridor originated from the Half-Blood Prince video game and connects to the greenhouses. Turning around and running straight back through, we'll get to the opposite end of this corridor. This door cannot be accessed due to the flooding inside. No entry due to flooding. This classroom is off limits to students because it is prone to flooding. Filch keeps it locked at all times. This area of Hogwarts is taken from the Hogwarts Wiki and can only be found in the Chamber of Secrets video game. Onto the Hogwarts Legacy Transfiguration Classroom. In my opinion, better than the movie classroom. This classroom is taught by Professor Weasley in Hogwarts Legacy. Very dimly lit, but very cozy, as you can see here. In the back is her office. Back through the Transfiguration Classroom. Looking out of Hogwarts for a minute, you can see the Quidditch pitch and the area Hagrid dragged in the trees and the snow. Back through and getting to one of the towers. On the left, again, we've already been there, so we'll be turning right. We'll be going up the corner tower and back into the hallway we were just in, but now on the higher floor. This classroom is inspired by an image someone made on Unreal Engine, which I recreated in Minecraft. I built this classroom around 3 years ago, and it has moved around ever since. Back into the tower, and turning left, we get to an armory hallway, also known as the Gunhilda of Gorsmore hallway. Here is the famous One-Eyed Witch. Hidden behind the statue of a one-eyed witch is a secret passageway from Hogwarts to the cellar at Honeydukes. It can only be accessed using a particular charm. Fun fact, this statue is only read in the books and can be seen in Hogwarts Legacy. In the movies, it is only ever mentioned by Fred and George.
Now listen, there are 7 secret passageways out of the castle. We'd recommend this one.
The One-Eyed Witch passageway. It'll lead you straight to Honeyduke's cellar.
On to the next statue. Flat armor. This set of armor belonged to Sir Skagglethorpe the Heedless, who unwisely challenged a mountain troll to a game of musical chairs. This armor and statue was also only found in Hogwarts Legacy. out of this hallway, we've actually been to this area. We're going to be going back up the stairs, and we're going to be viewing the other side of the corridor. First, we'll be stopping into the bathroom. The boys' bathroom in particular. And if there's a boys' bathroom, there's gotta be a girls' bathroom. This right here is a little reference to Hogwarts Legacy, where they have an area where there's someone brewing a potion, a nod to the trio when they brewed a potion in a bathroom. Next is one of the most famous classrooms in Hogwarts, the Charms Classroom. This classroom is a lively and energetic space. The room is filled with enchanted objects and magical artifacts, demonstrating the practical application of various charms. Students' desks are arranged to face the professor's podium, encouraging interactive and engaging lessons. Again, one of the most iconic classrooms in Harry Potter, as you can see in this clip. It's Leviosa, not Leviosa. Leaving this classroom, we'll be actually heading left into a classroom of my design. I based this classroom off of the 4 houses of Hogwarts. Every time you enter this corridor, it changes for who won the World Cup last. Of course, in Minecraft, it just randomizes the 4. This corridor looks out into the courtyard, and actually you turn left into the first year Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom. This classroom is only seen in Philosopher's Stone with Professor Quirrell teaching it. The temporary Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom. This temporary classroom was used while the real Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom was out of bounds in Harry's first year, due to Fluffy, the 3-headed dog, also being on the 3rd floor. Heading back through this corridor and back into the houses hall, Ravenclaw has won this house cup. Going up the last part of this tower into a corridor that I came up with on my own. Just a little connection corridor, nothing too fancy. Just to show you where everything connects, this is the music hall shown in the last part of the video. To see the final part of this area of the castle is this area from Hogwarts Legacy. Quite dark, quite gloomy, but also shows that kids don't really come into this area, which was a perfect thing for the area I'm going to be showing you in a second. Up the spiral stairs, you get to a classroom you might be familiar with if you've seen Crimes of Grindelwald. Oh, what a fantastic movie. It is where Newt hid to be alone with his creatures. That was the end of this section of the tour, and now it is on to the Astronomy Tower. Looking up at the big tower. Can't believe kids had to climb this. Astronomy Tower, the tallest point of Hogwarts, offers unparalleled views of the night sky. Students gather here for their astronomy lessons to study the stars. It's also a place of significance, including a tragic death of the great headmaster Albus Dumbledore. Going into the tower, and just to show you the base of it, this is where a few of the hallways connect, so you can get in through multiple ways. Taking our first steps of the tower, right away we get to the 2nd floor corridor. 2nd floor corridor. Located on the 2nd floor of Hogwarts Castle, this corridor is notable because it includes an office reserved for the Defense Against the Dark Arts professor. At one end of the corridor is a tetraglyph of Helena Ravenclaw. Halfway along the corridor was a tapestry concealing a narrow staircase to the ground floor. I'll be showing off that tapestry in a secrets video. Here is the tetraglyph, and into the Defense Against the Dark Arts office. This is Lupin's Defense Against the Dark Arts office. Professor Lupin's office is a cozy haven filled with books of magical creatures and potion ingredients. A desk cluttered with parchment reveals his dedication to teaching. Here is the book-accurate location of the Defense Against the Dark Arts office. So as stated in the Revelio page, the second floor is actually where the Defense Against the Dark Arts office should be held. In the movies, you see it at the end of the actual classroom. Here, book accurately, it's on the second floor. Getting a nice good look at this office. And now back up the astronomy tower. Here is the Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom. This classroom is probably the class that is shown off the most throughout the films, as seen in Chamber of Secrets, Prisoner of Azkaban, Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix, and potentially even Half-Blood Prince. At the end of the classroom is where the office is held. Here is Umbridge's office. I know, sorry, most of you guys don't want to see this. The office is filled with frilly lace, ornamental plates of kittens, and a nauseating sense of order. Behind the facade lies the quill that draws blood, a tool of cruelty hidden beneath her smile. Here's the clip, and as you can see, there's plates, which I tried doing my best to recreate, the pink brick, and of course, all the pink. I think my office is quite more cozy than Umbridge's. Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom, an often dynamic and sometimes chaotic space, reflecting the ever-changing nature of its instructors. The room is adorned with posters and diagrams of magical creatures and dark spells. Various tools and instruments for combating dark forces are scattered throughout, creating an atmosphere of readiness and constant vigilance. The desks are arranged to allow for practical demonstrations and hands-on practice. Slowly getting to the top of the tower, gonna keep going up the stairs, and enter the Astronomy reading room or the Astronomy library. An obscure library branch located within the Astronomy Tower. This secluded spot offers a quiet retreat for students looking for some late-night studying, originally only seen in the old Half-Blood Prince video game. I tried my best to recreate this reading room, and it is also seen in Hogwarts Legacy, but much smaller. Here's the last classroom, which is the Astronomy classroom. Located in the highest tower of Hogwarts, offering a breathtaking view of the night sky, the room is filled with telescopes and star charts, and the ceiling is enchanted to display a moving map of the constellations. I mimicked this room off the Hogwarts Legacy Astronomy Tower, a very beautiful, breathtaking, and quite calming place. I'm really proud of this right circle of spruce and books and drawers. Finally, rounding out the Astronomy Tower, we go up the last spiral staircase, all the way to the top of the Astronomy Tower. Here you can get a breathtaking view of Hogwarts. Final spiral staircase, I promise, but this one is actually seen in the movies. Here in Half-Blood Prince, we see Snape and Harry meet as they walk down it. And this is the top of the Astronomy Tower, iconic for the death of Dumbledore. And off the edge, this is where he fell, down into the courtyard. Oh, what a beautiful shot. I hope you enjoyed this side. A lot more classrooms and a lot more corridors. And this is a glimpse of what you'll see for the rest of the tours. In the next video, I'll be showing off the quad. This area has a lot of iconic corridors, as well as a few more classrooms. This area also has a courtyard, which can be confusing, but there's like 6 courtyards in Hogwarts, so I don't make the rules. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next tour video.